Hey everybody, it's Veronica. Thank you for joining me on this Google Hangout. So, some ideas of where to find your team members. Odesk is probably one of the more popular places if you need someone who can do more than just piecemeal work. They have about a 10% markup on contractor fees. So if your contractor normally would charge $10 an hour, you're going to be paying about $11 an hour to Odesk because they need to take their commission out of that. There's no membership fee, so you're not going to have to pay for it on a monthly or yearly basis. If you don't hire anybody, you don't pay at all. Odesk is really good for a lot of technical stuff, and that's mostly what I've known people to hire through Odesk for is web development, software development. If you want to get apps made for iPhone and for Android and all that. Um, Networking and IT type of work, writing, translation, administrative services, graphic design, multimedia design, audio, video, customer service, answering emails, doing live chat with your customers that have questions, um, sales, marketing, business to business services. And it's good for a wide variety of stuff. Um, some other features of Odesk, there's a lot more interaction and a lot more reporting available on Odesk than there is on some of the other outsourcing sites. There's training videos available. There's a public forum. The reviews on Odesk are also a lot more detailed than at a lot of other places. The ability for people to showcase their work on Odesk is a lot better than some other places too. So Odesk ends up one of the top outsourcing sites pretty much with everybody that I've talked with. So for Odesk, you'll go in and create an account, and it's free. Here's just a quick walkthrough of how it's done. It's really easy, and they literally walk you through each step of the process. Next, you click on the employers start here. If you're also wanting to be a contractor, you can do that too. I know a lot of people that are for example, graphic designers or web designers, they'll go there to hire out some of their smaller work. So they'll register as an employer, and they'll also register as a contractor because they want people to come and hire them for, for the entire web project or the entire graphic design project, and then they'll go right around and they'll subcontract out the smaller work also through Odesk. So you can register as both, but in this case, we're talking about you outsourcing work to independent contractors, so you'll be signing up as an employer. Fill out your account information, same as any other site. They have the CAPTCHA letters that you have to enter in. Check your email. They do make you confirm your email before you can set up your account. You'll upload a photo to complete your profile, and then you'll go in and create a job listing for whatever you need done. Now you want to make sure that you include as much detail as possible, and including deadlines. Like I said, be very, very definite and specific about deadlines, and be very definite and specific about any requirements of the job. Then you post it and you wait for service providers to bid on your job. You'll get an email notification from Odesk. As the independent contractor, they search through a database of job postings for jobs that they want to apply for. They can click a button to apply for the job that you've posted. You'll get their bid through email, and once you can log into Odesk, you can look at all the profiles and the portfolios and stuff of the people that have applied for your job, and then payment is handled through Odesk at the completion of the project. So once you've received the project and it's to your specifications, then Odesk takes payment and gives the portion that the contractor has earned to the contractor. So Elance is probably the second most popular, and it's very similar to Odesk. They have a slightly lower markup on contractor fees. Again, no membership fees. They do a lot of the same types of services as Odesk, with the exception that Elance, Odesk is more technical and design Elance tends to have a lot more of the financial. For example, I found some of my people that I outsourced my bookkeeping and accounting to on Elance. So they have a lot more engineering, manufacturing, finance, management, legal. You'll find that a lot more on Elance than on Odesk. Other features of Elance, there's several other things that they have that some of the other sites don't. You can assign project deadlines right on the calendar so that your workers and you can look at a calendar, and if they're working on multiple projects, they'll see deadlines for all their different projects. And if you have multiple different projects posted with different independent contractors, you'll see deadlines on your calendar for all of those. So you don't have to manage a separate calendar. I always do anyway. But that is kind of handy to have available. You can also track timesheets in real time, so you can see if someone's currently working on a project. Rather than just seeing what they've already done, you can see if they're currently working on it. The vendors submit status reports directly through Elance on a weekly basis. And with Elance, payment is held in escrow until the project is completed. So Odesk takes payment when the project is completed. Elance takes payment, they hold the payment at the beginning of the project when it commences, once you've picked your worker and you've both agreed to do the project together. And then they hold it in escrow until the project's completed and you've okayed it, then they release the funds to the contractor. So for Elance, you'll do the same process, go into register an account, input your contact information, check your email for the confirmation, click the link to confirm, and then you'll click on the Hire tab to post a job. And again, if you're also a contractor yourself, you can do Hire to hire other contractors, and you can click on Find Work to find work for yourself. So when you do click on that Hire tab, again, make sure you describe your job with as much detail as possible and be very specific about deadlines and be very specific about your requirements and your expectations. Your outsourcers will submit quotes. Again, it'll be emailed to you by Elance. You'll be able to log in and decide who you want to hire, and the process from there is pretty much the same as with Odesk. 99 Designs is another place, and that's specifically for design for graphic design and web design. So you'll find there logos, websites, brochures, business cards, WordPress themes, stationery, t-shirt designs, banner ads, etc. For 99 Designs, there's package pricing. If you want a logo done, 99 Designs has a particular price for a logo. If you want a website done, 99 Designs has a particular price for websites, for brochures, for business cards, etc. So you're going to pay the same amount no matter who you end up hiring, because 99 Designs determines the pricing. So with 99 Designs, you go in and you'll register an account, fill in your account information, choose what type of design work you need, fill out a long design brief. They want to be sure that you're getting exactly what you want, and they want to be sure that their workers, they're just as centered on you as the employer as they are on the worker. They want to make sure that the worker knows exactly what's expected of them. Choose your budget. They have packages at multiple different levels. Enter your payment information, and then when that job is posted, all the different designers will come and they'll search through the job listings, and then multiples of them. I've heard of people getting dozens or hundreds of submissions. Basically, any of those designers can submit a design or multiple designs, which you then will look through, choose your favorite one. If it's not exactly what you want but close, you can give the designers feedback in order to make any changes that you want made in order to make sure it's exactly what you want. And then once you've decided on the one that you want, then you choose that, and 99 Designs tells everyone else, sorry, your design wasn't chosen, but thank you. The person that you did choose gets paid and sends you the source files for whatever it is that you were purchasing. So if it's a logo, they'll send you the source vector files or EPS or Adobe Illustrator files or whatever. If it's a website design, they'll give you the source code for that website, etc. Next on the list here is vCoder, and it was formerly Rent-A-Coder. This is specifically for coding, for programming. So you're not going to find any other type of workers there but programmers. And most of them are going to be pretty good because if they're listing their profile at vCoder or if they're looking for work on vCoder, they're coders. So the markup, it'll vary based upon the skill that's needed. So if you need something not real highly skilled like HTML, the markup's probably going to be lower than if you need something very highly skilled, like you want someone to create an entire software program for you. Live help is available with vCoder. There's a time card program, it's called AccuTime Card, that tracks the progress with live screenshots and webcam shots of the person actually working on your project. So you can see their screen and you can see them coding away live. And they have money back guarantee, just like 99 Designs does. If the work that they provide isn't up to your specifications, you don't have to pay. So for vCoder, you'll go in and register your account. Same as anywhere else, create account. Enter your account information. Again, you'll check your email for the verification link. Go in and create your account password. Create a job post, and again, you want to put in as much detail as possible so that the person that you're going to be working with knows exactly what's expected of them, and so that you don't get people applying for the job that aren't really qualified for it. The service providers, again, will submit bids, which will be emailed to you from vCoder. And again, just like with Elance, the payment is held in escrow until the project is completed and you sign off on it and say it's all to your specs. Then the payment gets released to the contractor. All Custom Content is specifically a ghostwriting service, and they have package prices as well at several different levels. They'll do anything from short reports and just articles to complete ebooks, books for Kindle. If you're planning on publishing on Kindle, this is a great place to go to get your Kindle book written. They do copywriting for websites, sales pages, stuff like that, blog posts. They'll do audio transcription. They'll write your autoresponder and email messages, and they'll do project research for you. So if you already know a topic that you want to be considered an expert on, but you don't want to have to sit there and tell them exactly what to write, or you don't want to do the research yourself in order to write, they'll do the project research for you. They'll write the book for you. Basically, you could hire them to do the entire job. Sit down when it's all done, read your own book, and learn what you just wrote, because you get to put your own name on it as the author. You could be an instant expert, literally, within a few weeks' time, and have a published book. And you won't have to do anything but pay for it. With All Custom Content, to sign up for that from the homepage, you choose which kind of package you need from the links that are provided. Several different packages, and like I said, there's a variety there for any budget. You can get started having your custom content ghost written for you. Fill in the contact form, and their project manager will get in touch with you to discuss the specifics of your project. You get to communicate directly with your writer, and you also get to communicate with your project manager. So it's not just you and the worker directly dialoguing with each other. You do have a go-between if you need it. You can have the project manager manage the project, manage the worker if you don't have time, for example. If you, when the project manager initially contacts you, they'll find out from you everything that you want. And if you do a good job of telling them what you need, you could literally walk away from the process and come back a few weeks later and have a complete book, like I said, already written for you. You just sit down and read your own book and find out what you know. So another site, Workaholics for Hire. This is a customer service support site for web-based businesses. So if you need customer service for your own web-based business, this is the place to go. There's a $200 setup fee and there's a monthly fee. But the good thing about outsourcing your customer service with this company is that it's English based. It's not outsourced customer service to India or Philippines, where there's a chance that people's English is going to be broken and it's going to be hard for them to discuss maybe technical issues. The workers that work for you become experts in your products. So not only do they speak, native English to begin with, they actually take the time to really learn about your product. It's not just a customer service center where people are receiving calls on a variety of different businesses and different products, and they're just reading off of a script. These people are actual experts in your products. So for Workaholics for Hire, you would go and click on the Client Services tab on the homepage. And in section 5, complete the Customer Needs Support Assessment. Pay the $200 setup fee, and they take payment by PayPal or by credit card. And then again, the project manager will contact you directly to discuss your needs and customize the package specifically for you. The one thing you want to remember is no matter where you go to hire, make sure you ask questions and do your research before you hire anyone. Don't just go into it blind and, like I said, just dump and run. Make sure that you get all your questions answered, that you've looked into all your different options, and that you are truly hiring what you feel is the right person out of all of your available options. So in order to interview your service providers, a lot of people get kind of nervous about doing interviews, both being the interviewee and being the interviewer. But it needs to be done. You wouldn't hire an employee without interviewing them, would you? Maybe you would. I don't know. Not a good idea though. So anyone that you're going to be subcontracting work out to on a continual basis, you want to interview. Interview everyone. Your business reputation and your business's growth depend on you having reliable people working with you. If it's just a one-off thing, like someone's just doing a graphic for your website or just a book cover through a service like Fiverr, obviously you're not going to interview that person. So in order to interview your service providers, ask as many questions as possible, and you can do these interviews by email, which makes it a lot easier for a lot of people. You can also do it by Skype or by phone. You want to make sure whoever you choose you're completely comfortable with. If you have any misgivings at all that you may not be hiring the right person, or hiring through the right service, if you don't feel right about the service provider that's providing you with the worker, don't go with it. Keep looking. There's always other options. There's no shortage of places to find workers. So as far as actual interview questions, you'll want to ask them how long they've been in business, how long they've been doing what they're going to be doing for you. What are all the services they offer? There may be other work that they can do for you, or you may find out that the service they're supposed to be doing for you isn't their primary service, and then you want to think about, do you really want to hire that person to do that service? Or possibly maybe they are the right person for that service, but there's other things that they do also, or even better, that you can have them do that you may not have thought of. You want to find out exactly what the rates are. Ask them what kind of software they currently use and what software they know proficiently. Ask them how many projects or clients they're currently supporting. Ask them exactly who will be working on the project. A lot of people assume that the outsourced worker that they're hiring is the one that will be doing the project, but that's not always the case. Like I said, you can register on most of these outsourcing sites like Odesk and Elance as either an employer or as a contractor, or both. So there are contractors that they may do something like web design or graphic design or marketing, and they may offer a bigger package and then go and hire out either at a different service or at the same service to have other people do the actual labor, the work itself. So ask them who specifically will be working on the project. Also ask them what kind of work they did before they started their current business or before they started freelancing. And again, that'll give you an idea of their expertise. If there's someone who was in the same line of work for 10, 15, 20 years before and they just went out on their own, that's a little different than someone who was doing it completely, who was an auto mechanic and then now they're a graphic designer for the last year. You're going to get a different caliber of work out of either of those people, and a different caliber of interaction and project management, their ability to manage their own time, etc. Ask how long they were at their previous job or how long they had their previous business, whatever it was. And ask them what has been their biggest challenge in the last 6 months. That can be very revealing also. Um, it also gives you a chance to, if you find someone that's going to work out for you in a lot of ways, but maybe there's a few potential issues, it gives you a chance to help them work around those issues, or at least it gives you the advanced knowledge that those things may be issues. So if someone does have a problem with finding enough time to get everything done, either maybe you don't hire them or maybe you do hire them, but you just give them jobs that don't have really strict, tight, close deadlines. Feeding into that, are you able to meet rush deadlines? Ask them that, because if they are, when you come up with a last minute project that needs to be done, they're going to be the first person that you think of to give that project to. Ask them what's their biggest strength and their biggest weakness, because again, maybe you can help them work around their weakness. Maybe you can give them more work that feeds into their strengths more. Ask them how often they check in with clients with project status reports, because if they've already got a set schedule that they do once a week or every day, that's going to make a difference in how you work with that person. Ask them if they work certain business hours, if they have certain times during the day that they are always available. Ask them if you can contact some of their former clients for reference. That's very helpful if it's someone that you're going to be working with on a continued basis over a long period of time. You want to make sure that they were able to work well with the previous people that hired them. Ask also if they're willing to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And this is important for pretty much any type of business, but especially if you have any kind of sensitive information that these people are going to have access to, proprietary information, anything about the inner workings of your business or a particular product that they're going to be working on or supporting. You don't want them to just go off and talk about your trade secrets with just anyone. Join me again tomorrow when we'll talk about how to manage your outsourced team. For more information on outsourcing and all things business and marketing, visit my website at vkcoach.com. That's VK as in Veronica Kirchhoff, coach.com.